Arts Beat Mix. It's the KC Arts Beat Report. I'm Patrick Neas. Thanks for joining me today. I tell you, this is a really exciting podcast because we're going to be talking about the recently announced series of one of Kansas City's most exciting and eclectic and varied arts series in town. I mean, whether you like classical music or ballet or music that makes you want to get out of your seat and boogie, or movies accompanied by great music, or stuff for kids, for families, whatever your taste, this is the series for you. So stay tuned. But first, I'd like to ask you to please like this podcast video and share it with someone you know who loves the arts and wants to keep up on what's happening in the Kansas City area. Subscribe to the KC Arts Beat YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Substack. You can do that by going to kcartsbeat.substack.com and follow us on Facebook. We're just asking you to love us because we love you. And we also love the sponsor of today's KC Arts Beat Report, the Midwest Trust Center. And right now it's time to say hello to the executive director of the Midwest Trust Center, Stacie McDaniel. Stacie, it's always great to see you.
Oh, thank you so much, Patrick. It's wonderful to be here, and what an introduction. Thank you so much for all the love to us, and thank you for all that you do for the arts here in Kansas City and getting the word out about what all of us are up to.
Boy, and you are up to a lot. I mean, I have to scroll through my iPad several pages to see everything you've got coming on your 2026-27 season. I'm not even sure how to wrap my arms around it. But maybe what do you think? Do should we talk about dance first, or you want to break it down that way, or?
Yeah, I think a great place to start is with our annual program, New Dance Partners. Do you want to start there?
Sure.
Okay, great. So and that is near the beginning of our season, so I think it's a great place to open the conversation. And for folks who aren't familiar with New Dance Partners and that project, it does feature four internationally known choreographers that we pair with the help of our artistic director Michael Utoff with four regional and local dance companies here in Kansas, in the Kansas City area. And then we wrap up the project after a residency where they're creating new works with a presentation of four new dance performances, and premiere those on Yardley Hall stage here at the Midwest Trust Center. And that will be in September. So always really exciting to see what the choreographers come up with, what's the mood of the moment. And also finding the best way to feature all of the wonderful talent that we have here with those local dance companies.
And there's a lot of great local talent in the Kansas City area in dance.
Absolutely.
And it's great that you showcase that. One of the groups is the Owen Cox dance group. And
Yeah.
I noticed you're bringing them back for a holiday. It's becoming kind of a holiday tradition. I don't know, but
Yeah, we last presented this project, which is Owen Cox Dance Group's Nutcracker and the Mouse King, which is a sort of raucous, jazzy take on the Nutcracker. Really exciting dance. We last presented them with two nearly sold out shows in December of 2024. And so we're excited to welcome them back this year. And actually, Owen Cox is celebrating their 20th anniversary season. So excited to help them celebrate that milestone. And we're actually moving the performance from Polsky Stage to Yardley. And so we're excited about what new development that's going to bring in what was already a stellar production, and just amplifying it in the larger hall. So really excited about that one.
that's a really fun take on the Nutcracker. It's a nice,
Super fun.
it's nice if you've seen the Kansas City Ballet's really wonderful production of the Nutcracker. To then see Nutcracker and the Mouse King, it's a whole other experience. But they seem to complement each other in my mind, anyway.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's really fun to see all of the different takes on the source material, and just these different dance companies who find ways to reflect their vision for that in the classic holiday story,
Oh.
and bring that to life in different ways. So I think we can definitely say it's in concert, in conversation with what KC Ballet and their very special Nutcracker as well.
Yes, for sure. You also do a great job of bringing the world to the Kansas City area. And speaking of dance and that sort of thing, one thing that kind of jumped out at me is the Nai Ni Chen. I don't know if I pronounced that
You're
correctly.
spot on. Yeah,
Okay, the
absolutely.
Nai Ni
90 Chin.
Chen Dance Company, which is going to be happening on January 22nd.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about them?
So this is a really special dance company. The artistic director is from Taiwan and grew up in the Chinese traditional ballet style. And so this organization, this company really fuses this sort of Asian inspired modern dance, this heritage of China and Taiwan paired with contemporary dynamic choreography. And so it's sort of amazing modern contemporary dance, but also this sort of flavor of that Asian heritage. And they will be at the start of the new year, really celebrating some of the Lunar New Year. And so you're likely to see a lot of that cultural heritage coming out in the movement as well. And just really vibrant colors, beautiful costumes, and some of those traditional Chinese and Taiwanese inspired choreography.
I was going to say, I was looking at some photos of the group, and boy, talk about eye candy.
Yeah,
It's
it's beautiful.
beautiful, stunning colors, rich, ornate costumes. Yeah, that's going to be really special. Great way to welcome the Lunar New Year.
Absolutely. The staging of it's going to be really celebratory of that of what is a really special time in those cultures.
And speaking of dance, I kind of skipped over this one because this is happening on November 7th. But the Inlet Dance Theater, What Do You Do with a Problem? That's an
Yeah.
intriguing title. What,
So
what, yeah.
yeah, this is a really, really special program. So, What Do You Do with the Problem by Inlet Dance Theater? This is a dance theater adaptation of the #1 New York Times best-selling children's book. So, this is a dance program that's really geared towards children and families. They're recommending it for pre-K through third grade, but it's really just an engaging, dynamic retelling of this children's story that's all about how children can in a healthy way approach problems and come up with creative solutions and work with the people in their lives to really approach things in a healthy way. But I think it's really just a feast for the eyes, and the talent of Inlet Dance Company to tell this story through movement is just really inspiring.
That's terrific. You always offer a lot of great classical music in often quirky ways. And one thing that kind of caught my attention was Take Three, where rock meets Bach on November
Yeah.
21st.
Oh, I'm so glad that you brought that one up. I'm so excited to talk about them. So, this is a crossover string trio, take three. And basically, what they do is they approach every piece of contemporary music through a classical lens. So, while what you'll see on stage is classical instruments, what you will hear is a complete reimagining of some of your favorite tunes from Bach to Beethoven to Elvis to the Beatles to even contemporary Bruno Mars style performance as well. So they are going to be joined on stage by guitar and drums just to sort of amp up that rock feeling. So really excited about that one, both for classical music lovers and for folks who just love something a little bit different, a little bit unique.
That sounds like a lot of fun. November 21st.
That's right.
Another thing that caught my eye because this composer is in my top five favorite composers of all time. It's on February 6th, Cultural Crossroads Dvorak in America.
Yeah, this is a really special program that I've been looking at for several years, and we finally just found the date that makes sense. So this is a program that's inspired by Dvorak's time in the United States and getting to know some of the cultures here in the United States. So folks who are familiar with his music may be familiar with the American Quartet, which is going to be a part of this program, but it's also going to explore more of those African American and Native American influences on Dvorak's whole career. So there will be a native flautist as part of the program, some really special percussion, some bass vocals, sort of representing some of the African American spirituals piece of his time here in the States, as well as some projection and some narration. So really just telling a story as well as celebrating that music.
I've been to Spillville, Iowa, where
Oh, neat.
yeah, it's amazing. Here in the Midwest, we have a town where one of the greatest composers in history spent a summer. I mean, it's
Right.
such a special place.
It really is. And I think, what a sort of unique perspective to celebrate America's 250th anniversary through the eyes of someone who is experiencing America for the first time, and what it meant to him, and how it influenced his career moving forward. I think just a really sort of special and unique experience to be had at this concert.
You know what one of the things I love about Dvorak is how he came over here and didn't want to just spend his time with elite music snobs in the Northeast. He really wanted to experience the wide range of American music that at that time was really overlooked. I mean,
Yeah.
we think it's overlooked now. It was really overlooked then. But he embraced it, like you say, African American spirituals, Native American music. He was so far ahead of his time.
Yeah,
Um,
amazing. So, and to marry those worlds in a way that really connected with so many people who had no idea about those influences from a firsthand basis, but to bring that music to people who otherwise wouldn't have heard it. I mean, what a special circumstance.
and the Midwest Trust Center kind of carries on that spirit of embracing wide variety of influences and cultures and really,
Absolutely.
presenting them to people. One other classical music event I'd like you to talk about is Rodney Marsalis with the Bach Aria Soloists. I mean, the Bach Aria Soloists are so good.
So good. And what a cultural um you know uh, grounding to have here in Kansas City with the Bach Aria Soloists. We love to celebrate our local artists, and just so excited to have them paired with the famed trumpeter, Rodney Marsalis, and in a shared program. They're going to be doing some of the classics, Handel and Bach. But also some Broadway favorites from Leonard Bernstein, and really everything in between. So it's going to be a super um, varied program, but also the high quality, the musicality, the perfection that you have come to expect from Bach or soloists.
Boy, those that Marsalis family, how gifted when it comes to music.
No kidding. I mean, it's so funny. I feel like we could probably go back 2 dozen seasons and find a Marsalis in more than half of our seasons that we've been able to present, and bring that family here to Kansas City to share their music with the region. It's just what a treat.
Uh, that concert is going to be a little bit, as you say, a crossover concert because it'll have some Broadway in it. And speaking of
Yeah.
crossover, you do some really wonderful crossover things that, just I think would appeal to anybody, whether you're into high culture or not. Like, the Blind Boys of Alabama.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
I'm
going to
so
be happening on
excited about that one.
November 14th.
Right. Yeah. Blind Boys of Alabama, they're doing a special celebration of songs in the Key of Life, which was Stevie Wonder's iconic album. Really a celebration of gospel, soul, blues, Americana, R&B, just all of that wonderful music. And Blind Boys of Alabama couldn't have picked a better artist to celebrate the music of Stevie Wonder. They are six-time Grammy winners. Really just sort of impeccable in their performance in those genres. So it's going to be a great night of music.
And I thought I saw Billy Joel on here someplace.
You did. We are presenting the Billy Joel Legacy on October 11th. This is
Oh,
sort of a narrative concert performance from the producers of the Simon and Garfunkel story and the life and music of George Michael. So any of your listeners who were able to catch those performances on our stages over the last several years won't want to miss the Billy Joel legacy. This is really a heartfelt celebration of Billy Joel's greatest hits and as well as the man behind the melodies. So the concert will feature a recreation of that original music as well as stunning visuals and compelling storytelling to really talk about sort of the journey of Billy Joel as a songwriter and an artist.
I tell you, there's just so much stuff to talk about. And I want to have you talk about so much, but I let me just also say you're presenting the Who's Tommy on October 14th, and uh, I saw another interesting. Well, I have a lot of this is very interesting, but oh yes, the Winterlude Jazz Festival featuring Mardi Gras Mambo
Yeah.
next March 6th through 7th. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Really, really excited about this one. So, Mardi Gras Mambo is going to really cap off our Winterlude Jazz Festival, as you mentioned. So, those who are unfamiliar with the format of Winterlude Jazz Festival, it's 2 days of music. And the undercard is all filled with local jazz and uh, yeah, so local jazz artists, the best that the city has to offer. And then we cap off the weekend with a headline performance of a nationally touring jazz artist. And as you mentioned, that's Mardi Gras Mambo this year, and that features the Dirty Dozen Brass Band and Nathan and the Zydeco Cha-Chas. So they're doing a shared bill under the title Mardi Gras Mambo. This is going to be, pioneers really of New Orleans brass, as well as Zydeco legends, Nathan and the Zydeco Cha-Cha. So if you're unfamiliar with um, Zydeco music or New Orleans brass music, it's a mix of blues, Cajun, soul, R&B, and that sort of New Orleans zing, that New Orleans flair, just really to sort of bring it all together. It's going to be a super upbeat, super high energy show.
I love Zydeco music, and it's just so interesting. New Orleans music is as spicy as jambalaya.
That's right.
It's really great. Like I say, there's so much to talk about. I wanted to mention a couple of things that, just the name of them j jump out at me, and I want you to explain them. Like
Sure.
January 30th, there's a show called Gravity. What is Gravity?
Gravity. I'm so happy to talk about Gravity. I've been really excited about this one all season. I'm so excited for the public to see it and hear about it. So Gravity is a trio of women from the West End. They are performers from the West End met in various performances there. And Gravity is from the same producers as the Barricade Boys. So anyone who came to the Barricade Boys last year won't want to miss Gravity. They're going to be doing music from West End and Broadway productions, including the music of Wicked, as well as music from divas like Whitney Houston, Barbra Streisand. And so really just celebrating female vocalists from Broadway, West End, and beyond.
It sounds fantastic. And then another one that caught my eye, March 12th to 13th. Hold on to your butts.
Yes. Okay. Hold on to your butts. I was lucky enough to see this in previews in New York City this winter. And let me tell you, it is nonstop laughter from start to finish. This is a hilarious parody of the fan favorite film Jurassic Park, with shot for shot impressions of all of the amazing performances and moments of that film, told by two actors and one Foley artist on stage. It ran for a decade in New York and recently premiered internationally at the UK Fringe Festival, and also had a run on London's West End. So it's fresh off of all of those amazing experiences and gonna be coming right here to Overland Park. So we're excited to have them in March.
And turning our attention to your children's offerings and continuing the theme of dinosaurs, on March 6th, you're having an MTC Kids Jam, Dinosaur Odell and Kadesh Flow. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah, so this is a Kids Jam performance. This is part of our series of free, open to the public children's performances. Those happen on several Saturday mornings throughout the year. And this will actually be kicking off sort of a kickoff to the Winterlude Jazz Festival. So this is a jazz performance um, featuring some local performers that you may be familiar with. Again, Dino Odell, Kadesh Flow, putting together a whole new program to celebrate the jazz astronauts. And so bring the whole family to that one. It'll be about an hour-long performance. And those types of performances, we always see the kiddos dancing in the aisles.
And you have a lot of those kinds of shows for the kids, so they'll just have to go to your website to check them all out. Why don't you right now? I mean, we'll repeat it at the
Sure.
end, but why don't you tell us your website and how people can see a complete listing of everything you're offering?
Yeah, absolutely. So our website is jccc.edu/MTC. And you can see all of the offerings that we have coming up for the whole season. And you can also filter through if you want to look at family-friendly stuff, if you want to look at stuff that's on the series, and just check out what would be the best fit for you and your family. And we'll have information about all of that up on the website.
One of the shows that really I'm sure I would love, and I think kids would love Treasure Island Reimagined, Jane Hawkins and the Pirates Gold.
Yeah, this is going to be a really special performance. So those who are familiar with the Tale of Treasure Island, this is Treasure Island with a twist. So this is based on the graphic novel of the same name, and it's a retelling of Treasure Island with a female protagonist. So I think just a really fun retelling and great for the whole family.
And now I want to come to a couple of your presentations that I think are going to be big hits. And those are Black Panther, which is happening. Where is that? Would you know off the top of your head?
February 19th is
February
the date for that
19th.
one.
Black Panther in concert. And we'll talk about Outlander in concert too. But tell us about these in concert productions. They become really popular. I know you've had them in the past. Do audiences love those?
You're spot on. So these in-concert performances this year, as you've mentioned, we've got Black Panther in concert in February, and this is the Marvel film Black Panther with a live orchestra playing the score to that film. And then in October, we have Outlander in concert, which is scenes from the television show Outlander, which is wrapping up this year. And I know fans are going to be itching to get back with those characters. And so we're excited to bring them that performance in concert. So that will be selected fan favorite scenes from all 8 seasons of the show, played with that wonderful award-winning Scottish score. So really excited about both of those programs. As you mentioned, these in-concert performances are a great way to sort of bridge the gap between people who aren't 100% sure that they are excited about a classical music performance, or maybe they're not, they've never been to one. This is a great entry point for people who want to try something new, but want to do so with a product and a brand that they're super familiar with. So it's great to sort of leverage those things and get more people out to the theater and to hear great music.
And if you think Outlander makes you swoon watching it on TV, try watching it on the big screen with a full
No
orchestra.
kidding. Exactly. Yes. I think then that's the whole idea. And I think we're expecting a lot of folks to come out for date night, a lot of girls' nights to come out and enjoy those characters, like you said, on the big screen. And yeah, I think it's just a really special way for people to connect with things that they already know that they love and discover something new that they didn't know that they were going to love.
Well, you better have some smelling salts on hand for the Outlander.
I do feel like I need to let everyone know that Jamie will not be attending that Outlander performance. For fans of the show will understand that joke, but um it's going to be a wonderful experience.
Well, I hope we've given people a little bit of a taste of the amazing variety of the 2026, 2027 of the Midwest Trust Center. I know there are many things we didn't talk about. I mean, it's just too long to go over everything. But Stacie McDaniel, Executive Director of the Midwest Trust Center, why don't you tell people again how they can peruse at their leisure this list and how they can get reserve their tickets now? Because for a lot of these things, you're going to want to get your tickets soon because I have a hunch like the Black Panther and Outlander, those, for example, I think are going to go. So, get your tickets now. How can people do that, Stacie?
Yeah, thank you so much again, Patrick, for your time. I think you selected some great ones to talk about. And like you said, I'll just encourage folks to visit our website. Again, that's jccc.edu/MTC to see the full season lineup, as well as all of our family offerings and our arts education offerings. You can find everything there. You will find links to our ticketing website there on the website. If you prefer to talk to somebody over the phone, please call our box office at 913-469-4445. They're there Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can also come by in person at those same hours.
And it's a great venue, easily accessible from the highway, from any part of the KC metro area.
Absolutely. That is one thing we are always excited to tell people is that it's very convenient to come see a show with us right off of 435 in Quivira, just south of the interstate. We've got free parking here on the campus of Johnson County Community College, and we'd love to see you.
And that free parking is not to be sniffed at. And
Absolutely not.
and you have a lot of it too.
Yes, a big selling point for us is that we really just want to make it easy for people to come and enjoy that live theater and live music that they love.
Stacie, it's always so much fun talking to you about your new season. It must take you quite a while to put together something like this. When do you start planning?
That's a great question. Actually, I'm already planning 27, 28. So for those international artists, sometimes that planning happens up to 18 months in advance because there's a lot of work that needs to be done for visas and travel and things like that. So I have been working on the 26, 27 season since, late 2024, and we'll be working on the 27, 28 season from about 3 months ago onward until we announce the next one. So it's fun because we're actually, finishing up our 25, 26 season right now. And I'm sort of thinking about 26, 27, but I'm also thinking about 27, 28. So it's just, it's a lot to keep in your mind at one time, but I think I have the best job in the world. So I feel very
Well,
grateful to get to do that every day.
I'm sure it's a lot of hard work, but on the other hand, looking at this season, I bet it's also a lot of fun putting together something like this.
So much fun. I feel, like I said, just very lucky to work with wonderful artists and my great team and serve this wonderful community.
Well, thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you, Patrick. It's been a real pleasure.
And you've been listening to the KC Artsbeat Report. Again, please like this video. As you can tell, a lot of information here, which I'm sure any arts lover you know would really love to hear about. So share it with somebody you know who loves the arts. And please subscribe to our KC Artsbeat YouTube channel and subscribe to our Substack at kcartsbeat.substack.com. When you subscribe, you'll get great information about the arts emailed to you directly, and follow us on Facebook. I hope you'll join us next time. I'm Patrick Neas.